In this lesson, I will tell you about Boolean operations in AutoCAD 3D. So here we have these three geometries which are completely similar to each other, and all of these geometries are made with a cube here and a cylinder here. So in all of these geometries we have these two separate entities. Now we'll start with making a union in the first geometry. So as you can see here by the hovering of my cursor that both of these geometries are separate. Now in order to combine them into a single unit, we can use union Boolean operation. So on solid editing panel of home tab here, you'll see this union command. You can also go to this solid tab, and from here you can select this union. So you can use both of these panels for making the selection. So let's select this union command from this panel. Now click on this first object and then click on the second object. If you have multiple objects, you can select both of these objects, but in order to make a single entity from all of these objects need to be attached to each other physically. Now once your selection is complete, press enter. And now when you'll hover your cursor, you'll see that this is combined into a single unit. Now let's move on to subtract. In this case, we can subtract one geometry from other. For example, let's say that we want to subtract this cylinder from this cube. For that, let's select the geometry which you want to retain. So here in this case, it's the cube, and press enter. Now select the subtracting geometry, which is the cylinder, and let's press enter again. And now the cube has been retained, but the cylinder is subtracted. Let's press Ctrl Z and return back to the original geometry. Now we can reverse this process as well. So for that, let's select subtract, and in this case, first click on this cylinder and the cylinder will be retained. Now press enter and click on this cube, and this time when you press enter, the cube will be removed from this cylinder. Now let's look at the third situation, which is intersect. In case of intersection, the common portion in between both the geometries will be retained. In this case, it's this small section which is common in between these two. So let's select intersect, select the first object and the second object, and press enter. And the common section or the geometry is retained, and all of the geometries are removed. So this was all about Boolean operations in AutoCAD 3D. In the next lesson, I'll tell you about fillet and chamfer command of AutoCAD 3D.